This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Well, July is over already. This year is flying by. And I had a few games last month that I kept and I inducted with Saxophone Serenades. So this video is to talk about all the games that I kept, why I kept them, and then we'll figure out which one was really my favorite if I could only keep one. So one I kept was called Backyard Builders Treehouse. This is a super light family level drafting game where you're trying to build up your treehouse and you're trying to have the most points and get color runs and things like that. It is a very light game. Almost could probably be thought of as a kid's game, but because it is like the best intro to drafting I could give anybody, it's even lighter than Sushi Go, much lighter. I kept it for that reason. Next is Mr. Jack, the 10th anniversary edition. Oh man, I love this game. This took a game that was I liked, but was my least favorite of the four, and took this to right up below my favorite, which is Mr. Jack in New York. They rebalanced the game with changing how the board is, and it really changes the game. One I absolutely love now. I liked it before, but man, this took it to a new level. I really love this one. The next is Beastie Bar, New Beasts in Town. This is a standalone game that can be mixed with the original Beastie Bar. It's a tactical card game where you're trying to get your animals to the front of the line to be let into a club, and every card you play interacts with all the animals there, kicking people out, moving people forward, stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun. Quicks is sort of, it was nominated for the Spiel des Jahres many years ago, and it's a quick, light, family-level dice game that's very portable. You can take it on travel. If they've played Yahtzee before, they'll be sort of familiar with some of the mechanisms here, and it's a lot of fun. It's a game that's very light, but yet there's good decisions to be made, and it's very portable, and I like to travel with a lot of portable games, so that's why I kept that one. Beyond Baker Street is a game that's based off of the mechanisms of Hanabi, where you can't see your own cards, but you can see everybody else's, and you're giving them clues about those cards. They have to remember those clues and play the right cards at the right time. You're trying to solve the murder, opportunity, and suspect in London against Sherlock Holmes. You're trying to solve it, but solve it faster than him, and it's really fun. The theme is rich, lots of replayability, characters with special abilities. It's awesome. Next one is Secret Hitler. This game raised $1.5 million on Kickstarter and is about to come out at Gen Con. I got one of those production samples. It is a social deduction game, very similar to Resistance, but yet still very different. They basically used a lot of those mechanisms, but changed it a lot. They streamlined a lot of it. Now when somebody fails a mission, you don't know for sure if they failed it or if there was a randomized draw from the tile deck that was the problem. Also, you're trying, the good guys are trying to kill Hitler and figure out who he is. Hitler doesn't know who his teammates are most of the time, but he's trying to get elected. A lot of really interesting things that built off of Resistance. Very similar, but yet very different, but very easy, much more easy to teach than the Resistance as well. And finally, and this is the one where if I had to keep one, as much as I love Mr. Jack, and you know how much I love that, I very rarely give a game a 10. This game got a 10 for me. It is called Skull King. It is a simultaneous bidding trick-taking game. It's 10 rounds long. You start with one card in the first round that you're bidding on, all the way up to 10 cards in the 10th round. The game has 4 levels of trump. 3 of those levels are special cards that you can throw anytime. It is just a blast. It's probably the game that has invoked the most emotion and tension from a card game than anything I've ever played before. Big moments of everybody jumping up and down and yelling and screaming and having fun. Tons of fun here, Skull King. There's a version in North America called Grandpa Beck's, and they changed the game. The artwork's not as good, and they took out some of the trumps. So I wouldn't get that one. Get the one from Schmidt Spiele. You have to probably import it, although there are a few retailers that you can get it from overseas. So those are my Saxophone Serenades a month, and my favorite. We will see you next month. This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for backing me on Kickstarter, making this season become a reality. I'd like to especially thank those here that have backed me at the credit level. Now, these video reviews are also available by audio on our podcast. It's the intros and the final thoughts on GameBoyGeek.com. Click podcast.